Welcome to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the vast expanse of human experience, guided by the lantern of curiosity and the compass of critical thinking. Today, we find ourselves at the threshold of one of the most fascinating civilizations in human history, the Roman Republic. As we step into this ancient world, the whispers of legendary figures, the clang of steel on steel, and the murmurs of a people striving for greatness will envelop us, transporting us to an era that shaped the destiny of Western civilization. In the distant recesses of time, when the mist of myth still shrouded the Italian peninsula, the seeds of Rome were sown. The city's legendary founder Romulus is said to have ascended to the throne in 753 BCE, marking the beginning of Roman monarchy. This period, though veiled by the passage of time and the embellishments of legend, laid the groundwork for the societal structures and governance that would eventually give rise to the Roman Republic. As we delve deeper into this formative era, we encounter the figure of King Lucius Tarquinius Priscus, also known as Tarquin the Elder, who is believed to have ruled from approximately 616 to 579 BCE. His reign is notable for the significant developments in Rome's infrastructure and its emergence as a major power within the region. The construction of the Circus Maximus, one of the earliest and most iconic landmarks in Roman history, underscores the growth and ambition of the city during this period. The subsequent reigns of Servius Tullius and Tarquinius Superbus, or Tarquin the Proud, marked pivotal moments in Rome's transition towards a more complex societal structure. Servius Tullius, who ruled from around 578 to 535 BCE, is credited with dividing the Roman population into classes based on wealth, thereby establishing a system that would influence Roman politics for centuries to come. His reforms also included the creation of the Comitia Centuriata, an assembly organized by census class, which was a significant step towards representative governance. The reign of Tarquinius Superbus, from approximately 535 to 509 BCE, is often viewed as a period of tyranny that culminated in the expulsion of the kings and the birth of the Roman Republic. His rule was marked by conflict and authoritarianism, leading to widespread discontent among the Roman populace. The final straw came with the infamous rape of Lucretia by Sextus Tarquinius, son of Tarquinius Superbus, an event that ignited a firestorm of outrage and resistance. As the last remnants of monarchic rule dissolved with the expulsion of Tarquinius Superbus in 509 BCE, the Roman Republic began to take shape, its foundation laid by the determination of its people to govern themselves. This pivotal moment marked the inception of a new era, one characterized by the struggle for power, the evolution of governance, and the relentless pursuit of glory. The first consul of Rome, Lucius Junius Brutus, who had played a crucial role in the overthrow of the monarchy, now found himself at the helm of this nascent republic, navigating the treacherous waters of Roman politics. The early years of the Roman Republic were marked by a series of conflicts, both internal and external. The Romans faced numerous challenges from their neighbors, including the Etruscans and the Latins, against whom they waged several wars to secure their borders and expand their territory. One of the most significant of these conflicts was the Battle of Lake Regillus, fought around 496 BCE, where the Roman army, led by the dictator Aulus Postumius Albus, emerged victorious against a coalition of Latin cities. This victory not only secured Rome's position as a dominant force in the region, but also underscored the importance of its military prowess. As the Roman Republic continued to evolve, so did its system of governance. The office of the consul, initially filled by patricians, began to see the inclusion of plebeians, marking a significant shift towards greater representation and democracy. The Lex Canulea of 445 BCE, which allowed for the marriage between patricians and plebeians, and more importantly, the Licinial Sextian laws of 367 BCE, which limited the amount of public land that could be held by any individual, and also provided for the election of a plebeian consul, were milestones in this journey towards a more equitable society. The Roman Republic's expansion beyond the Italian peninsula began in earnest with the conquest of Italy, a process that spanned several centuries. The subjugation of the Samnites, a powerful Italic tribe, through a series of wars known as the Samnite Wars, 343 to 291 BCE, was a crucial step in this expansion. These conflicts not only tested Rome's military might, but also its strategic acumen as it navigated complex alliances and rivalries. One of the most defining moments of the Roman Republic came with the Punic Wars against Carthage, a powerful Phoenician colony in North Africa. The first of these wars, 264 to 241 BCE, was sparked by Rome's intervention in Sicily, where Carthage had established significant holdings. The Second Punic War, 218 to 201 BCE, would prove to be one of the most pivotal conflicts in Roman history, as it pitted Rome against perhaps its greatest foe, Hannibal Barca. The Carthaginian general's invasion of Italy, which included his famous crossing of the Alps with war elephants and his victories at Trebia, Trasimene, and Cannae, brought Rome to the brink of disaster. Yet, the Roman Republic persevered, thanks in part to the strategic brilliance of Fabius Maximus, who adopted a policy of delay and attrition against Hannibal, refusing to engage him in pitched battles. The ultimate Roman victory in the Second Punic War, sealed by Scipio Africanus's triumph at Zama in 202 BCE, marked a turning point in the Roman Republic's fortunes. It had emerged as a dominant power in the Mediterranean, with its influence stretching from Spain to Greece. However, this expansion also sowed the seeds of internal conflict and social upheaval, as the wealth and slaves captured during these wars exacerbated existing class divisions within Rome. The Gracchine reforms of the 2nd century BCE, led by the brothers Tiberius and Gaius Gracchus, were an attempt to address some of these issues. Their efforts to redistribute land to the poor, reduce the power of the wealthy elite, and grant greater rights to the plebeians were met with fierce resistance from the Optimates, the conservative faction of the Roman Senate. The tragic ends of both brothers, who fell victim to the very political strife they had sought to alleviate, served as a stark reminder of the deep-seated divisions within the Roman Republic. As the Gracchine reforms failed to stem the tide of social unrest, the Roman Republic continued its downward spiral into chaos and violence. The late 2nd century BCE saw the rise of powerful generals like Marius and Sulla, who would eventually clash in a civil war that further eroded the stability of the Republic. The Marian reforms, which aimed to professionalize the Roman army, created a loyal following among the soldiers, but also led to an increased dependence on individual commanders rather than the state. The 1st century BCE was marked by even greater turmoil, as figures like Julius Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus vied for power in a series of alliances and rivalries that would ultimately lead to the downfall of the Roman Republic. Caesar's crossing of the Rubicon River with his legions in 49 BCE sparked a civil war that would see him rise to dictatorial power, only to be cut down by assassins in 44 BCE. As Cicero so eloquently put it, "Sidant arma togae, concedat laurea linguae," let arms yield to the toga and laurels to the tongue, a sentiment that reflected the deep-seated tension between military power and civic authority. The death of Caesar led to a power struggle between his adopted son Octavian and Mark Antony, which culminated in the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE. Octavian's victory marked the end of the Roman Republic and the beginning of the Roman Empire, with Octavian assuming the title of Augustus and ruling as the first emperor. The legacy of the Roman Republic is complex and multifaceted, reflecting both its achievements and its flaws. On one hand, it had created a system of governance that was remarkably durable and adaptable, with institutions like the Senate and the assemblies providing a framework for representation and decision-making. On the other hand, its inability to address issues like economic inequality and social injustice ultimately led to its downfall. Today, the Roman Republic is remembered as a pivotal moment in the development of Western civilization, a time when ideas about democracy, citizenship, and the rule of law were first explored and refined. Its influence can be seen in everything from modern systems of government to architectural styles and artistic motifs. As the historian Edward Gibbon once noted, the Roman Republic was a noble experiment which, despite its flaws, had left an indelible mark on the course of human history. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that, to understand the present, we must first understand the past.